My girlfriend said, "My sister is moving in." I replied, "I'm moving out." Then I packed my bags, took what I paid for, moved in with a calm roommate, and I just smiled because she had no idea it would end with bed bugs, eviction papers, and her back in her old room. I, 29 male, moved out of the apartment I shared with my girlfriend Natalie, 27, 3 days ago. Been together 4 years, living together for 2. Thought we were heading toward marriage. Turns out we were heading toward very different futures. Tuesday night, I get home from work. Natalie's sitting on the couch with this weird smile. You know that smile people get when they're about to drop something on you and expect you to just roll with it. So Melody is having a hard time. She starts. Melody is her 24-year-old sister. Okay, I'm unpacking my work bag, not really paying attention yet. She lost her job again. This would be job number 6 in 2 years. Melody has a pattern. Gets hired, does okay for a month, then starts calling out, showing up late, generally not doing the work, gets fired, rinse and repeat. That sucks, I say, because what else do you say? So I told her she could move in with us. I stop, turn around. You told her what? My lazy sister is moving in with us, she needs help. She's family. We have a 1-bedroom apartment, Natalie. She can sleep on the couch until she gets back on her feet. Here's the thing. Melody doesn't get back on her feet. She lands on other people's feet and stays there. She lived with their parents until they literally moved to a smaller place and didn't tell her the new address until after they'd settled in. For how long, I ask? Just a few months. And you're going to help support her until she finds work. Not we, not can you, just you're going to. No, I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not supporting your sister. If she moves in, I move out. Natalie laughs, actually laughs. You're not serious, dead serious. You didn't ask me. You told me about bringing another adult to live in our 1-bedroom apartment, an adult with no job and no intention of getting one. She's trying. Name one job she's kept longer than 3 months. Silence. She's moving in this weekend, Natalie says, like that's the end of it. Then I'm moving out this weekend. Where would you moving out this weekend even go? My buddy Trevor has been looking for a roommate. His place is actually a 2-bedroom. Imagine that. She still didn't believe me, kept saying I was being dramatic, that I'd cool down. Even when I started packing Wednesday, she thought I was bluffing. Thursday morning, I loaded my stuff into my car, all of it, everything I bought, everything that was mine. The TV, the coffee maker, the decent pots and pans, the router, even the shower curtain because I bought it. Natalie comes home Thursday evening to a half-empty apartment. What the hell? Where's the TV? I took my stuff, our stuff. No, my stuff. Check the receipts, all in my email. That's when it hit her. Really hit her. See, the lease is in her name only. When we moved in together, she insisted on being the only name on the lease because it would build her credit. Fine by me at the time. Less liability. I just Venmo'd her my half of rent each month. You can't leave me with the full rent. You made a unilateral decision about our living situation. I made one about mine. It's $2,100 a month. I can't afford that alone. The look on her face, good thing Melody will be there to help out. The look on her face. She knew as well as I did that Melody wouldn't contribute a dime. This is insane. You're really ending our relationship over this. You ended it when you decided your sister was moving in without discussing it with me. I left that night, stayed at Trevor's. The apartment was mine starting Friday. His old roommate had already moved out, and I could take over his portion of the lease immediately. Friday afternoon, the text started. Please come back. We can talk about this. You're being unreasonable. Melody isn't even here yet. How am I supposed to pay rent? I didn't respond. She made her choice. I made mine. Saturday, Melody apparently arrived with 3 suitcases, no job and no money. The entitlement, but plenty of expectations. That's when things got interesting. Update 1. The entitlement is off the charts, guys. Like, I knew Melody was a piece of work, but this is next level. So, Trevor's been a real one, letting me crash while I get settled. His place is actually nice. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and unit laundry. And get this, it's $300 less per month than what I was paying at Natalie's place. My share comes to $900 versus the $1,050 I was paying before. Trevor's chill, cleans up after himself, and actually has a job. Wild concept, but let me tell you what's been happening at the old place. Natalie called me Sunday night crying. Not sad crying, angry crying. Melody ate all the food. Okay. She's been here one day and ate a week's worth of groceries. And when I asked her to replace them, she said she doesn't have money. Sounds like a roommate problem. This is your fault. How is your sister eating your food? My fault. If you were still here, if I was still there, she'd be eating my food too. Card pass. But it family comes first gets better. Monday, I get a text from Natalie's mom, Gloria. Gloria, what you did to Natalie is disgusting. A band. She chose her sister over our relationship. I respected her choice. Family comes first, then family can pay her rent. You know we can't afford that, I mean neither can I, that's why I got my own place. Radio silence. After that, Tuesday, Natalie texts me a screenshot of her bank balance. $342. Rent is due in 3 weeks. I need you to help me with rent this month. No, I'll pay you back. With what money? I'll figure it out. Like Melody figured out her last 6 jobs. She tried calling me selfish, heartless, every name in the book. I just kept responding no to every request for money. Wednesday is when Melody decided to reach out. This girl who I've maybe had 10 conversations with in 4 years suddenly needs to talk. The job market is impossible. You're being really immature about this whole situation. I'm not in this situation. I removed myself from it. Matt says you took stuff that belonged to both of you. I took stuff I paid for. Big difference. Well, some of that stuff would really help us out right now, like the TV. Best Buy is having a sale. I don't have money for a TV. Then get a job. I'm trying. The job market is impossible right now. Meet Trevor's company is hiring. Want me to send you the link? What kind of job? Customer service. $18 plus benefits. Dealing with people all day, no thanks, and there it is. Not the job market is impossible, it's I don't want to work. Thursday, things escalated. Natalie showed up at Trevor's place. Trevor answered the door. Legend told her I wasn't interested in talking and asked her to leave. She started yelling about how I owe her, how we were together for 4 years, how I can't just abandon her. Trevor, bless him, just said, "Ma'am, you chose your sister over him. Choices have consequences. Please leave before I call the cops." She left, but not before shouting that I was a coward for not facing her myself. Friday morning, I get a call from my old landlord. Natalie had called him trying to get me added back to the lease, so I'd be legally obligated to pay half the rent. Landlord told her that's not how leases work. You can't just add someone who doesn't live there anymore. He also informed her that if she can't pay rent, he'll start eviction proceedings. No exceptions. She panicked and asked if she could break the lease. Sure, for a $4,200 fee, 2 months' rent. She doesn't have $4,200. She doesn't have $420. The best part, Melody, helpful soul that she is, has been posting on social media about her mental health journey and how she's taking time to heal at her sister's place. Complete with photos of her lounging on the couch, my old couch that Natalie bought, at least watching Netflix on Natalie's laptop, eating takeout. Natalie commented on one, "Must be nice. I'm working doubles to afford rent." Working doubles. Melody deleted the comment and posted about toxic people trying to dim her light. I'm sitting here in my new room, which is bigger than the space I had before, paying less money with a roommate who actually contributes, and I'm wondering how I put up with Natalie's family drama for so long. Rent's due in 2 weeks. Let's see how this plays out. Update 2. Rent was due yesterday. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well, but first, let me catch you up on the lead-up because the entitlement reached new heights. So Natalie tried everything. She applied for a payday loan, denied due to insufficient income. She tried to get a credit card, denied due to existing debt. She even made a GoFundMe titled "Help a Young Woman Stay House After Abandonment" that raised a grand total of $45, all from her aunt. Meanwhile, Melody has been living her best life. I know this because Natalie's friend Rochelle reached out to me. Rochelle is one of the good ones. She's always called Melody out on her crap. Rochelle reached out to me. Rochelle, dude, you need to know what's happening over there. She sends me screenshots from Melody's private Instagram. This girl is ordering DoorDash twice a day on Natalie's credit card. Not just food, Starbucks, smoothies, snacks. Natalie's working double shifts at the dental office and Melody's spending probably $60 to $80 a day on delivery. But here's the kicker. Melody has been having guys over, different ones. While Natalie's at work, the neighbors have been complaining about noise during the day, music, voices, and other activities. Rochelle. Natalie doesn't know. She's too exhausted to notice Melody's been washing sheets every day. So while Natalie's killing herself to make rent, her sister is running a revolving door of Tinder dates through the apartment. 3 days before rent was due, Natalie made one last desperate play. She called my mom. My mom called me confused. Honey, why is your ex-girlfriend asking me for $2,000? She's short on rent. Why is that your problem? It's not. That's why I moved out. Good, I'll tell her to pound sand, the nerve of that girl, but Natalie didn't stop there. She called my brother, my best friend from college, even my boss. Thankfully, my boss just hung up on her. Then came Thursday. Melody finally got a job. Want to guess where? If you guess nowhere because she didn't actually get a job, you're right. She told Natalie she got hired at a boutique, even left the apartment, dressed nice every day for 3 days. Turns out she was just going to the mall, hanging out, and coming back when Natalie got home. The fight was apparently epic. Rel saw her there sitting in the food court on her phone for hours. Natalie found out when she called the boutique to surprise Melody with lunch on her first day. They'd never heard of her. The fight was apparently epic. Rochelle heard it from her apartment 2 floors down. Natalie finally grew a spine and told Melody she needed to contribute or leave. Melody's response, "You can't kick me out. I have tenant rights. I've been here 2 weeks." She Googled tenant law and everything. Wrong move. Natalie called their parents, told them Melody had 24 hours to leave or she was calling the cops and reporting her for credit card fraud. All that DoorDash adds up. Their parents drove 3 hours to pick her up. The dad was apparently furious. Not at Natalie, at Melody. Turns out they thought she actually had a job lined up when she moved in with Natalie. Melody had been telling everyone she was starting a marketing coordinator position, but here's where it gets really good. Yesterday was the first rent day. Natalie managed to scrape together $1,400 through her paycheck and sell in some jewelry. She's $700 short. She texts me, "I have most of it. Can you just cover $700, please? I'll pay you back next month." No, I got rid of Melody. Good for you. This is so cruel. We were together for 4 years and you threw it away for someone who pretended to have a job to scam you. I didn't know next month I got rid of Melody she was lying. You knew she was unemployed when you invited her. You knew her track record. You chose this. The landlord already posted a pay or quit notice. She has 3 days to come up with the money or the eviction process starts. But wait, there's more. Remember those guys Melody was bringing over? One of them gave her a gift. Turns out it was bed bugs. Yep, bed bugs. The building management found out when the neighbors complained about seeing bugs. The whole floor needs to be treated. Cost to the tenant if it's determined they're the source. $1,500. Natalie is now $700 short on rent, facing $1,500 in pest control fees. Her credit cards are maxed from Melody's DoorDash spree, and she has an eviction notice on her door. She sent me a voice message last night crying. Not angry crying this time, defeated crying, saying she just wanted to help her sister and didn't think it would end up like this. I felt bad for exactly 3 seconds. Then I remembered her saying, "You're going to help support her." Not asking, telling. Trevor and I are having a housewarming party this weekend. Sent a Snapchat to my story of the new TV I bought. 65 in 4K, got a great deal. Petty may be satisfying. Absolutely. Rochelle texted me this morning. Natalie's moving back with her parents. The apartment's getting evicted. Her credit is shot. Melody's already posting about needing a new place to stay because family is toxic. 4 years together, and she threw it all away because she wouldn't have one conversation with me before making a major decision. Now she's 27, moving back home, credit ruined, and her sister is already on to the next victim. Me. I'm paying $900 a month for a bigger room, better apartment, drama-free roommate, and peace of mind. Best $900 I've ever spent. Final update. This is likely my last update because the situation has completely resolved itself in the most karmic way possible. Natalie got evicted officially. It's on her record now. She couldn't come up with the rent or the bed bug treatment fee. The landlord started proceedings and she didn't even try to fight it, just packed up and left. But the final days, here's what I learned from Rochelle about the final days. When Natalie told her parents she was getting evicted, they said she could move back home, but only her, not Melody. They were done enabling Melody's behavior. Gloria, their mom, apparently said, "We already raised you both once. We're not doing it again." So Melody needed a new plan, and boy did she come up with one. Remember those guys she was bringing over? One of them was named Keith. Seemed like a decent dude with a good job. Melody convinced him she was escaping an abusive situation and needed a place to stay. He let her move in. That lasted exactly 1 week. He came home early from work one day to find Melody had moved her friend Tamara in without asking. They were both high on his couch, had ordered food on his credit card. She memorized the numbers, and Tamara's boyfriend was taking a shower. In Teeth's bedroom shower. I see it now. Teeth kicked them all out immediately and filed a police report for credit card fraud. Melody tried the tenant rights thing again. Turns out that doesn't work when you've been there less than 30 days and have committed fraud. She's now couch surfing and burning bridges at record speed. Last I heard, she was trying to convince some guy she met on Discord to let her move in with him in another state. As for Natalie, she's working at the same dental office, but had to pick up a second job at Target to start rebuilding her savings, living in her childhood bedroom at 27. Her credit score dropped 150 points from the eviction and maxed cards. It'll take years to recover. She sent me one last email last week, not asking for money or trying to get back together, just apologizing. I see it now. I see what everyone tried to tell me about Melody. I see what you are protecting us from. I destroyed our relationship and my life for someone who doesn't care about anyone but herself. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know that I understand now. I'm sorry for not listening. I'm sorry for not respecting you enough to have a conversation. I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry for everything I didn't respond. There's nothing to say. Some lessons you have to learn the hard way. The funniest part, their parents reached out to me through Rochelle. They wanted to thank me for having the backbone to do what they should have done years ago. Apparently, my leaving was the wake-up call everyone needed about Melody. They've all cut her off now. Gloria said, "We spent so many years making excuses for her. You refusing to enable her made us realize we were part of the problem." Plot twist, though. Remember Trevor's company that was hiring? The customer service job Melody turned her nose up at. I mentioned the opening to this girl at my gym, Laura. She applied, got hired, and we've been talking. She actually sends me memes about people with terrible roommates, which is weirdly therapeutic. We're taking things slow, but it's nice being with someone who has their life together, has her own place, own car, steady job, and get this. When she found out I had a cold last week, she brought me soup without me asking, without complaining. Just showed up with soup and tissues and left them at my door because she didn't want to get sick too, but wanted to help. Basic human decency. Turns out it's not that hard to find when you stop accepting less. Oh, and the ultimate irony, the apartment Natalie and I shared, it's been re-rented to a nice older couple who both work from home. They can actually afford it because wild concept, they both contribute to expenses. Rolls said Natalie cried when she saw them moving in. I'm not going to lie and say I don't feel a little bad for Natalie. 4 years is a long time, and she wasn't a bad person, just weak when it came to her family. But she made her choice. She chose her sister over our relationship, chose enabling over partnership, chose to make unilateral decisions about our shared life. And now she's living with the consequences. Literally living with them in her parents' house probably, until she's 30, given how long it'll take to rebuild her credit and savings. Me, I'm thriving. Better living situation, more money in my pocket, no drama, and potentially something good starting with Laura. Turns out when someone tells you you're going to help support someone you didn't agree to support, the correct response really is just no. Best decision I ever made was trusting my gut and walking away. Outrow, sometimes the best revenge isn't actually revenge at all. It's just refusing to participate in someone else's poor decisions and letting reality do the rest. Peace out, Reddit. Thanks for following along on this weird journey. Remember, if someone tries to volunteer you into supporting their deadbeat relative, just leave. It's really that simple.